I have been a big fan of Phineas and Ferb for a long time. Ever since the show released, I remember watching it on Disney XD when I was like, what, probably 8 or 9? I was super little. I even for a little while had a Phineas and Ferb themed room. The walls were teal. I had pictures up. I even had a Phineas and Ferb alarm clock. Well, actually, it was just a platypus, but either way, we're gonna be going to pick up all of the Funko Pops today. And I also happen to have a package arrive. How perfect is this? I actually just went to go pick it up over at the post office, and if you guys don't know, inside of here is another Phineas and Ferb figure for the collection. And so I guess today, this is what we're gonna be starting with, and I can't wait to show you. Alrighty, we are into the box. I can see some of the figure. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. We have the Toy Temple pre-release Perry the Platypus. We'll talk about it a little bit more after the hunt because I wanna show you guys them with like full 360s and everything because I am just such a big fan of these. But yeah, on the back here, everybody, you can see the rest of the characters, and that's what we're going for today. And I guess we can't do that from the car. Let's go to GameStop. They'll have them, right? I mean, it's only 3 figures. You know, coming back to the main pop section here, I'm trying to see where their Disney figures would be because I believe there's some animation down here. Well, actually, it's alphabetical, so I'm trying to think. Maybe up in the top left. What's that one there? Tiger from movies. Either way, not Phineas and Ferb. It's not what we're looking for. But looking around a little bit more, I'm seeing like some of the new ones there from Home Alone 2. We also have like Herman here from The Electric State. That's kind of funny to see. Oh, actually, here we go, everybody. We have some of the Disney ones here. So we've got the Disney Princesses, the new Christmas ones. We also have Elio. And actually, I believe this row here is mostly all of the Disney stuff. And so I'm looking. I see like Evil Queen over here, Snow White, Al from Al's Toy Barn, but yeah, no Phineas and Ferb here. They do, however, though, everybody, at the bottom here have the brand new Wicked for Good figures, which is pretty early and cool to see. Okay, I'm looking on their larger figure section now because they do have some over here, guys, like the Tron on Light Cycle, another Disney one, but not Phineas and Ferb. And here's the thing, guys, I was doing some digging around back here, but when I walked past, I noticed that they have a couple figures up at the front, like they had just got them in. So maybe it'll be over there. Maybe all 3 of them will be. Fingers crossed. And well, everybody, would you look at that? Up at the front here, they do have their stuff. We got Ferb, Agent P, and Phineas. Exactly who I was looking for. I mean, come on. This is pretty perfect. Alrighty, everybody. We are now back in the car. And I've got to say, that was, like I said, super easy. I've got all the figures here, though. But like I said, we're not going to talk about them yet. I do want to talk about the other random figure that I picked up quickly because it doesn't really go with the rest of them. The one that I'm talking about here is Moopsy from Star Trek. And if I'm going to be honest, I don't actually know much about Moopsy, but I love how this figure looks. And so that's why I decided to grab him. Like, is there any like little hidden features on this one? I don't think so. It's literally just this here, but it totally doesn't look like a Funko Pop. Like, how random is it? If you happen to know anything more about Moopsy, please put it down below. We're back. I have wanted these figures for so long, so I think it is amazing that I now finally can get them for my collection. Also, I don't know if you guys can tell, I have reorganized down here, so it might look a little bit different in the background. Not a crazy change, but at least everything is off of the floor. I can walk around the entire room. When you do a video every day, sometimes it gets a little bit tough and you forget to put stuff back. But anyways, getting into these ones here, let's start with that original Perry the Platypus, which I am so pumped to have. This one, like I mentioned earlier, I ordered from Toy Temple, and shipping was a little high. Not their fault. It's because I live in Canada. Of course, it's going to be a little bit higher. I actually think, I'm trying to remember here, it might have been like $40 or $45 for it to get to me, but it is totally worth it because it has the pre-release sticker. I was able to get it right away, and I honestly don't know how else I would have got this. I was a little bit worried that maybe we would have got it over at GameStop here in Canada because sometimes the pre-orders for them, they show up in random places because we don't really technically have Toy Temple here in Canada. But from what I've seen so far, this is the only way I could have got this one. And now, opening him up, I think this is one of those pops that definitely doesn't look like a pop. It's so amazing. The little tuft of hair, these the eyes are so funny too. They're kind of like slightly separated like Perry's would be. The tail looks so great. And this is just honestly a perfect way to do him where they're not like trying to make him look more like a pop. It's kind of like a chibi in between where it's not exactly Perry, but you can tell he's like a little bit cuter than usual. Oh, and this is funny. They even did the bottom side of him, which I know they don't normally have to do because of course you're just going to put it on the table, but the tail is complete. Take a look. It's got the little lines. And honestly, that's why I enjoy the pops so much because there is just all these little details that you wouldn't normally think of in these figures. And this is really funny. Normally they have like the top top of the head with the eyes, but if you take a look on the side, well, there it is. Now, everybody, let's get into the next figure. And I kind of just want to jump into, I guess, Agent P this time, because this is just like another really great way of doing Perry the Platypus. And it's kind of funny, because we got the Agent P, we got Perry the Platypus, we of course have Phineas and Ferb, but we didn't get a Dr. Doofenshmirtz. I don't know why that is, and I'm hoping that we get some in the future. And also, there's a little fun fact with the Agent P. If you don't know, on the website, Funko.com, a little while back, they had these available in like their coming soon section to let you know they were going to be out, you know, probably within like a month or two. And it was funny, this one was originally called Agent Perry, which did not make very much sense because when they call him Agent P, it's never said as Agent Perry. And I think they could have done like a platypus, then Perry the Platypus could have been funny, but I think the way that they ended up going with it was pretty perfect. And anyways, taking a look at Perry the Platypus here, I love the hat. I love that he's standing up. It is a little bit closer to that kind of like normal pop style, but because he doesn't have the larger head, it really is just like Perry the Platypus taken directly from the show. His arms out are great. It's almost like he just jumped down and he landed on both feet. It's like he's about to go and attack Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Not a great impression, but you know who I'm doing. Well, I literally said his name in it. Whatever. All right, now let's move these off to the side and get into the kind of cursed figures in the collection, because these ones here are the ones where people were like, that just looks a little bit off. And now I think out of the two of them, Ferb looks more like, you know, Ferb would have in the show because his eyes are connected. I'm just trying to think if you ever see them like front on, not for a long time, that's for sure. It may be for a frame when they're actually rotating their head, but yeah, like I said, they're never like staring at us directly for a while. And no, you know what? I gotta say, Ferb taking him out of the box is again another one of those figures that doesn't look like a pop. And I think it has to do with the way that they're doing the eyeballs and how they're not just black or white, they actually have the pupils included, and I think it's a pretty big must for these figures. I know they would have looked so weird if they didn't have that. I'm wondering if the designers over at Funko have like a version of that where it is just the black eyes, or just the white eyes, or whatever they ended up going with in the beginning, because I have a feeling they probably do, and it would just look so odd compared to this now. Maybe if we got those originally, I wouldn't even be thinking about that, but now that this is a thing, I don't think we could ever go back. Oh, and actually, you know what? Talking about Ferb a little bit more, I love that they included that his finger was up like this, almost like he was about to say something, but he is a man of few words, so he's not actually moving his mouth in the figure, it's just a finger up. And now, everybody, the scariest figure of the bunch, and it's definitely because there's no good way to make Phineas facing forward. One thing that I think is really funny, too, is that when we had first seen leaked images of Phineas, they had him face on. And then when Funko announced him, they rotated him slightly to the side. And I think it's because a lot of people were like, I don't know, there's something up with him. But when you see him in the box, he still is facing forward. And now I kind of want to try what they did to see if it helps at all. Like, it definitely looks fine forward. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it is just such a weird thing. And now if you rotate him just like this, I think that that helps a lot. It's because it makes his eyes look connected. And like I said, that's what the problem is. His eyes are separate, but still, this is just such an amazing figure. That's why I wanted to pick him up, because I'm a big fan of Phineas and Ferb, but also Funko Pop, so putting those two things together, it's perfect. Also, very similar to Ferb, I do think it's really nice that they have Phineas with his arms out like this. Almost like, and I'm going to guess maybe what he was saying, what are we going to do today? Because that feels kind of like what he's about to say. Especially because he does have a smile on his face, or maybe he's like about to say something, because, you know, Phineas talks way more than Ferb. And what I liked about the back of the box, ooh, what is this? Hold on a second, everybody. This is kind of funny. Is this on every single one of the boxes? It is. Okay, what I was gonna do is show you guys the back of the box with the characters so we could also take a look at the actual versions of them from the show. But look at Phineas. Do you see that? There's almost like something covering his mouth. It looks like when they were going to create the actual like box art, something happened and they accidentally covered over it with like a square tool or something on Photoshop. Totally an accident. Not very big either, but I just noticed that because I was thinking about his mouth like 2 seconds ago. And well, anyways, everybody, there we go. That is all of the Funko Pops that I picked up today. If you guys want to see more hunts like this where I go around looking for a specific set, I can totally do that. Just let me know down below. Also, if you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, I definitely recommend it because it helps out the channel so much. Because then you can see more videos like this. But seriously, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great one, and I'll see you tomorrow.